Everyone told me that my hair would never grow, but in just 4 years, I went from this to this. And today I'm revealing the exact timeline of how long it takes to grow out fire hairstyles like these that'll have everyone asking, yo, how you do that? On average, your hair grows half an inch every single month. But instead of me just giving you the time of when you're able to do this hairstyle, I'm also gonna give you the time where the hairstyle looks the best. Because even though you're technically able to get 2-strand twists at 6 months in, they're not gonna look, all of that. So listen to me. First, let's start with cornrows. Cornrows is my baby. You can see that I have them in right now. Look at the hang time though. I know you wish you was like me. Don't worry, bro. I'm gonna teach you how to get there. Just hold my hand and I'll get you through this. No diddy though. I don't know why you squeezing it like so. The good thing about cornrows is the majority of people will be able to try out this style when they're around 6 months in their hair journey. That's when your hair is about 3 inches, and that's actually when you could get your first protective style, right? And even though you could get it at that time, I think the fact that cornrows, you could do all of these different designs and stuff like that makes it more versatile even when it's shorter. But I'm gonna still give you like a better estimate of when your cornrows are really gonna look good. I think I got cornrows until I was like 1.5 years in my journey, and they still look kind of good, but I had a drop fade at the time. So let's find a time range that works for most hairstyles. And I would say by the 2-year mark, when you hit 2 years, regardless of like what style you have, your cornrows are gonna look fire. Those are those cornrows where people look at you and be like, dang bro, like you just look fresh. Next, let's talk about box braids. I didn't get my first set of single strand braids until around 19 months in my hair journey. And yeah, they looked good. Like they looked okay, right? I feel like I had some decent hang time, some decent length. They definitely didn't look better after this next time jump. Like I said before, I had a drop fade at the time, but they barely reached my eyes. I think box braids, 2-strand twists, and styles like that are really length intensive, right? Where the style looks better the longer your hair is. Whereas with cornrows, you could get away with shorter hair. But if you have box braids and your hair is like here, don't get box braids when you hit the 6-month mark, bro. Trust me, I'll show you later on, but don't get a length intensive hairstyle like that when you're only 6 months into your hair journey. Don't get it as your first protective style. I would say box braids max out at around 26 months in my hair journey. So that's just over 2 years. That's when it's past your eyes. It moves a little bit when you shake it. If you blow dry your hair beforehand, you're definitely gonna get some hang time with it. I feel as though as soon as it gets below like this point, below your eyes where it starts to cover it, that's when box braids really starts to max out and hit its peak. We also have to take in consideration when it comes to box braids, the good thing about it is there's less shrinkage with box braids than there is with 2-strand twists. So you might even be able to get away with, a less amount of time. Sometimes I just hate English. Since the hair is plaited together, you'll probably get less shrinkage, but keep that in mind when it comes to these styles. Now let's talk about 2-strand twists for a second. Now 2-strand twist is one of those unique styles because you are gonna be facing the blunt of shrinkage when it comes to this style, right? So we really need to find a timeline where not just the hair is long, but the hair with shrinkage is long. So we gonna hop into that. 2-strand twist was actually my first protective style, and you could see from the picture that there was no hang time. There was no, they kind of looked like worms at the moment. So I kind of wish that I got them later on when they actually started to, hit their peak. You definitely don't want to get 2-strand twists. I mean, you can, I can't tell you, I ain't your father, I can't tell you what to do, but I would hold off on them. If you're really trying to maximize the way that you look with every protective style, I would say to your first year, you should just be grinding out cornrows, bro. Just like get that extra hair growth in because your hair's still gonna look good. You can put your do-rag on when it gets frizzy and stuff like that. You're gonna have to wait a little bit more when it comes to 2-strand twists. I would say the appeal of the 2-strand twist didn't max out until 4 years. Like it wasn't until very recently where like I could have my hair blow dried and straightened essentially and get 2-strand twists and they would be like past my jaw. But then also when they started to shrink up, they were at least still past my eyes, like in the box braid situation. So with 2-strand twists, you really gotta wait a long time for them to max out. But I think that's a good thing too. It means that the hairstyle has a lot more potential for growth for a longer amount of time. With cornrows, after you get past that like first year or so, they're just cornrows at that point. Like, ain't nothing much really happening with those. Like even with box braids, it's like at a certain point, it's just like, okay, we get it, your hair is long. But with 2-strand twists, the fact that whether it's blow dried or you have shrinkage, it still looks good. I feel as though it doesn't hit its peak until about 4 years. We go on to the next step. If you need help growing out your hair, I have a free hair routine template going over everything you should do to your hair from day 1 to day 7 of managing your curls. It's completely free. If you want access to that, go to the link in the description. And if you like the video, Oh, mother flip, I almost fall. If you like the video, like the video. That's all I have to say. Let's talk about curly hair routines or wash and goes for a minute. The good thing about curly hair routines is that you could start these very early. Compared to the protective styles like cornrows, box braids, two strand twists and stuff like that, you could start curly hair routines from 3 months into your hair journey. Like as long as you got a little bit of hair and it could curl a little bit, you could start it from a lot earlier on, but they're not gonna look as fire. This right here is an example of one of my earlier curl routines. Now keep in mind with this wash and go, I was still kind of testing it out. I was still testing the waters. I didn't know exactly what to do. This is where you'll find a lot of tutorials on YouTube. Like I used to watch King Burley, I used to watch Juwan Gaines, like a bunch. So you can definitely find tutorials for those. I would say this is a good bridge. Like when you're tired of doing the afro. You're tired of doing the afro style. You're tired of doing the buzz cut. You're growing out your hair a little bit. Your hair's not long enough to do twists or cornrows and stuff, but you want to mix it up? Do the curly hair routines. I have a ton of examples on my channel if you want to check those out to teach you your techniques and stuff like that and how to do it. I want to show you how it looked around 2 years in. You could see like the advancement. So that's 2 years. This is 3 years right now. So, you know, it's getting much better. But I would say the curly hair routine, I don't think the curly hair routine maxes out like that, you know. But I'd say it really looked good. Like 3 years in, it looked good. 4 years in, it looked like really good. And depending on the hairstyle that you have, like if you just grew around your full head, I think the curly hair routine really doesn't have no limits. The curls will always look fire as they get longer. I wouldn't say they have a max out, but they definitely look better with time. These are just a few of my favorite hairstyles. If you have any other hairstyles, drop them down below and give the guys like an accurate measurement. When do you think those hairstyles started to truly look their best in your hair journey so we could guide the other guys who might just be starting to grow out their hair for the first time. They don't know what they should be doing right now. Let's help them out. Because if one of y'all go down there and tell a dude who got 3 months hair to twist his hair, you are up. You don't belong here. You setting up people to fail and you a wolf in sheep's clothing. But if you have some genuine advice, drop them down below in the comments. And if you like this video, like the video, and you're probably gonna like this one too. So I advise you check it out. That's all for me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.